All right, so welcome everyone. No, you haven't done anything wrong, Paulo. So Paulo is asking me is he's done anything wrong, but you haven't. The thing is, these sessions, we run the sessions. Gustavo and I, we have a chat. Typically, there's typically a guest, and then we will invite our members to we invite our members to jump in and also to participate. But typically the first half of the conversation is, in this case today, we are going to be sharing best practices and really laying a plan on how can you leverage evolve, without fluff, so you can actually drive results from the community. And by results I mean uh, business opportunities, partnerships, if you looking at hiring someone. So we're going to get practical, because we see that networking is a big pain. We do a lot of the heavy lifting, but we still see that people need some guidance. So Gustavo, perhaps we can get started. If you have a video to share,
Great. So,
that would be good.
okay. So, hello everyone. Nice to be here again. And well, we're going to start and also disconnect a bit with the point that we are talking about and that we will talk about, which is related to build relationships. And we'll play a video of our dinner, networking dinner that we had last year at São Paulo. And let's play a video and talk about a bit about this event and the event that we're going to host in São Paulo in the end of July. And yeah, so let me play the video. Let's go.
That's very cool. Very cool. And so this was what we've done last year. You're very welcome also to spread the word. We still have sponsorship packages available. Paulo, as I mentioned during the event last week, you can always put in a word to people you know. We're looking for some very few but selected sponsors. So let's get started. All right, Gustavo, maybe you want to drive
Great.
this, and yeah.
Yeah. Yes. So we have our agenda here. So what we're going to talk about is what Carlos said already. So uh, let's start with the first point. We've been having uh, some conversations with Evolve members and also with people that wants to join Evolve. And one thing that we've been seeing and we've been learning is the necessity or the maybe the people struggle on how to be clear and how to know what you want when you're doing a call, when you're entering uh, a call that we have connected you with, or uh, in a call where you want to sell something maybe, or you want a connection, you want a referral for a third person. So Carlos, how what can we talk about it?
Sure. So I think the first thing, Gustavo, when we're talking about building relationships and knowing what you want, I mean, you have to be clear. You need to, I'll give the example of the gentleman that Paulo just mentioned, from Lima Consulting. He joined our paid community. And he was very clear about his needs and challenges, right? When we had the conversation with him, he was referred into the network, so we had a chat, and he was in a transition, moving from Brazil and needing to hit the ground running in Europe. So he said, guys, I'm looking to accelerate my time to network. um, we are implementing martech solutions, Adobe, so this is my ecosystem and so on. And I need support to understand how the EMEA market functions. So he was clear, and as soon as he joined the community, he was looking to explore new markets and also accelerate his network in Europe. We were in a position to help him. So the first thing is be clear about what you need. So we have someone here also watching, Fabio. He might be moving to Ireland. He mentioned yesterday he's been in sales for quite some time. He's going to be exploring opportunities in Ireland, and yeah, because he mentioned that, and he was clear. This is my expertise. This is what I look for. Then I was also in a position to support him with warm introductions, right? For example, Kamal, we're going to introduce him to Kamal. Kamal gave us a heads up because his company is expanding. He's from the UK, has several connections in Ireland. So, but the first thing is like knowing what you want, right? And this is also a muscle you have to exercise. Make a list of the things that you need at the moment, because life happens, and it could be that today you need something, your need tomorrow may be different. But make a list of the things that are happening in your life, like three pain points that you have at the moment, and then you have those things clear. Like, so when you have the calls and we introduce you to someone, you're clear about what you need. That's my take on that topic. What are your thoughts, Gustavo?
Yeah, I share the same view with you, and I also like to to be in the place where, let's say, we have we, we have a lot of consultants and advisors, and these professionals, they are looking always for give advice and to consult, and they are happy to do that. But in the other way, that's also their job. So I think that the point is exactly what you said. So you can be very proactive and, let's say, friendly, and saying, okay, so I can help you, I can give you some tips, I can give you some advices, but this is what I do for a living. This is my job, so I can help you for a limited time, in this situation, in this occasions. But this is what I do for a living. Let's talk about if you want to have me as a consultant, as an advisor for for more time, or if you want me to enroll in more in depth with your needs and something like that.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, I think the other thing is like not, in English they have this expression, don't wing it. Don't come prepared. Be prepared for the call. Like, know your 3 points that you want to talk about, and then be intentional about it. I think you need to state early what you look for. Say, hey, this is what I'm looking for. It's a conversation, right? It's always a conversation. I think Paulo, I would love to invite Paulo soon to the call, not now because we're following our script here, the agenda. But Paulo's been in consultative sales for a long time, so he understands that, right? So you're gonna support someone, but you also need to, as you said, there needs to be a closing, so you don't feel like you're just a giver, right? There needs to be a point where you say, okay, from this point on, this is how we work, and how, these are the next steps, make sense, or are you in the market, and so on. So I think that's very important. And I will not mention the name today of the person because she's not here, But we had a session with her, like 30-minute session, where she brought us this challenge. She's like, I'm just giving, giving, giving. And in 30 minutes or so, we just said, are you also offering your services? Are you being clear that you're in the market and that you can support people with, your skills? And after the call, like she had lined up four opportunities in her pipeline. She closed two opportunities. So it's really a matter of being clear and also kind of like driving, right? Like saying, hey, you're not pushing, but you're also people understand we are adults here, and people understand we need to do business, right? So yeah, I think we can move on to the next point, which is about the what happens when we do the matchmaking, right, Gustavo?
Yes. So, well, what we do here at Evolve is basically in talking about matchmaking. So we connect people based on what we have talked with them, based on what they have stated on our forms. When they join the community, you need to fill out the form, and we have these information there, and we have our conversation that we have with them. And when we do our matchmaking, we have all of that in context. So if we are connecting to two people, two persons to talk with, it's because we can see that they share values. Sometimes it's more it's easier for us also to connect, but sometimes we need to be sincere here. Sometimes is a bit the angle needs to be adjusted, or the person needs to understand the angle and understand the context to talk with, and needs to be, I would say, better than that. I would say you need to have an open mind when we connect, because mostly when we're connecting people internationally from different markets and different countries, you need to have an open mind when we're proposing a connection, because we know a bit how the markets work, and the connections the other person has, and what the other person does. And we know some things that we also cannot share with other people, but we understand, so we can connect and put both people to talk with. So yes, but here I believe we have also the same points that you were talking about. So you need to to lead the conversation, right? You need to state your goals clearly, and also, and what's in my opinion, the most important for building the relationship is you need to be curious. You need to be curious
Mhm.
with the other people. You need to really want to understand what the other person is doing in her life, in the job. How do they do the job? What are they doing, and what are the results? If they have some challenges, if not, what some interesting things that they have seen in their market, because this is what's going to help you build the relationship, to understand, and also to have a follow-up conversations, either in WhatsApp, either in LinkedIn, either in another call, either for connecting to have a coffee, either to refer a book, a video that you saw, an event. uh, yeah, so this is what I
Yeah,
would.
I'm not sure I have anything different or different from of what you're sharing, but it's really for me, it's really um, interesting to see that we're doing the heavy lifting. I get a bit annoyed because especially for the paid members, we're doing the heavy lifting. We are connecting you. We are accelerating your time to network. So all you have to do is do some research, which also it is in the in the document or the email that you receive. This person has done such and such. We are connecting because such and such. So your job in that case is like to look for some context, as Gustavo is saying. That's the first thing. um, where this person has this person been featured on an interview? Can I find some more information? And I get it, I get we are all busy, I get that people are they might not necessarily prepare. Maybe that's something we can do also, Gustavo. I don't know, with AI now that we have a couple of things coming up, so that's going to be on us. But while that doesn't happen, just go the extra mile. It's going to take you like 5-10 minutes just to do like a research on that person and say, oh, I saw that you spoke at a certain event. That is already an excuse to open a conversation, right? So I think just doing that very simple job of doing a little bit of extra research is going to teach you something about that individual, and you may be surprised about what you find out. And the other thing is, right, you guys had guys and gals had the call. Now it's about following up. So use the flipping CRM or however you function best. In my case, my mind works really well. So typically, Gustavo gets a bit annoyed at me that I'm not updating our CRM all the time. Um, it's something that I need to improve, but I'm doing the follow ups. And I think the following up is the mother of all sales, right? It's the mother of results. So start following up, find a system that helps you. Uh, Gustavo, are you there?
Yeah,
Yes,
I'm
because you're
listening.
looking down. So because your internet is not great, so you were just looking down. I thought maybe he froze. um, and follow up on the conversation. I think it's simple as that, but it's where I see people failing. Like they think one conversation is enough when they say that in B2B or whatever. Like you're part of a community, but you need to follow up. People need to see you maybe 6-7 times, have a couple of interactions, and that's hence the importance of being on LinkedIn, so people you become top of mind and blah blah blah. But you need to become top of mind. You need to follow up so people remember, the conversation. And maybe another point there, Gustavo, is like, okay, you had a call, you did some research, there was some report, but then send something interesting, right? Just don't be like a taker. Say, hey, uh, I
Yeah,
thought of you. Be proactive and make an introduction, because when you facilitate an introduction, you're actually opening up an avenue. Like you're creating an
mhm.
opportunity for the other. That's what we do here at Evolve. That's what we do. I mean, we do
Yeah,
this for a living, but uh, people can replicate what we do. It's not rocket science. You have a conversation, say, okay, thanks very much. I'm gonna help you with, I'm gonna introduce you to such and such,
yeah.
right? And that's it.
Yeah, yeah. Introduce to someone, or refer a cool book, or a video that you saw, or a podcast that you saw, or an event that you saw that connects with what that other person, what you have discussed on the conversation. But and that takes us to that point, that is, you need to be curious at least a bit, to understand what the other person's thinking about, what he wants to do, what he wants to accomplish. Uh, it's more on a personal side, it's more on the business side. So, well, you have touched the point of how the person can position themselves, how the person can position inside a community, or in LinkedIn, or
Mhm.
and what can you say? So what would be some tips that you could go about on how to position yourself inside the community?
Perfect. I think inside the community, I think nobody like to be sold to, right? But we love insights. We love learning. For example, yesterday, and I forgot to tell you this. My the lady from Alibaba. the global head of business development, who's in the UK. She sent me an insight. She said, "Hey, Google," just because she's a former Google, she's a Googler, and she sent me a piece of news saying that Google acquired another company doing AR and VR and some goggles that they're investing in. And she said, I would love to have that kind of insight, and said maybe you can sign up to our newsletter and so on. But she just dropped an insight and said, hey, this is what I would like to see more of within the community. Um, if you know your topic, and let's say I'm gonna take the example of someone we spoke recently, a guy who's an expert in marketplaces. I mean, there's so many topics to talk around marketplaces, vertical marketplaces. Marketplaces are growing exponentially all over the world. So why, if you have a content system where you're posting on a weekly basis on LinkedIn, at least once a week, maybe you can share an insight that from your content flow into the community. It's really annoying if you're that person, and we luckily we don't have many of those, and we when that happens we delete it. I think we have very nice people that typically they ask us, is this okay to post in the community? um, but if you know your stuff, if you know your topic, share it. Hey, I've seen Paulo shared recently a really interesting insight on sales, and he said, "Hey guys, this is I love to hear your thoughts on such and such, and these are my thoughts on B2B sales." And this person who's an expert, for example, in marketplaces, he could be doing the same, and he can just get content maybe from that marketplace lady that we were talking, and just refer, hey, I saw this, it's growing a lot, she's an expert, these are my thoughts, I work with marketplaces, these are my challenges. Perhaps just by saying that these are some of your challenges, these are some of your thoughts, you're going to spark a conversation, right? Today I shared something, for example, that I see on LinkedIn, which is a trend. Like LinkedIn is resurfacing content from 2 weeks ago. So they are actually distributing old content, which means that if you're producing content today, within that content will be distributed for the next 2 weeks. And some people may get annoyed. So there are many things that you can do within your domain of expertise, just to share something and to position yourself. And that I'm talking inside the the free community that we have, like on Engage, right? um,
Hmm.
that would be valid also for the paid community. And if you do that, and then you just add LinkedIn, a little bit of LinkedIn to the fuel, I think you would be in a great position. But just talking about how do you position yourself within the community, I mean, Gustavo and I, we are more than happy to help you amplify your voice, to help you, like, say, hey, this person really knows about sales, or to share and to get people to comment on your post. So sharing a few insights on the topics that
Hmm.
or maybe some cross-cultural stuff, like starting a conversation as well, like, hey, I moved to Portugal and I noticed this, has anybody has gone through these challenges? I'm based in Denmark, for example. When we use a specific payment method, what's the payment method you use in your country? So there's so many ways to go about it. But I would say start sharing something that like in your domain of expertise. It could be about sales, marketplaces, marketing, whatever. And as long as you're not just talking about yourself, you're good. And if you don't know, then you can always ask us, Gustavo and I. We can give you a hand. But that's my take on that. What do you think?
Yes. Yeah, no, totally agree. And what I would add is that you can also share what you're looking for in terms of
Mhm.
knowledge. So we talked the other day about some people, and it's also a curiosity and something that we want to also to learn. Also is how to build AI agents, how to work with that. So
That's
what
right.
experiences have you had? What experience. So because and this is I believe the most important part and most important thing in terms of community, and especially with a community like Evolve, where we are not just marketing guys or sales guys or CTOs and CROs and sort of that. We have people from a multi-diverse helm of knowledge. And what's important is you'll have a context. You'll have an answer more focused on the technical side, with people that are actually building and learning and doing AI stuff. You have you could possibly have a view on someone that's using and it's testing and it's working with that, or someone that have saw a tool, or have saw a video, or have saw someone that built and what they used, and etc. So also to use the power of the community to help you cut some roads in terms of
Mhm.
getting to the points that you want to learn. So this is also something that it's that's really important. I can relate to that. It's also for me. It's also a bit hard to share, not because anything is just because uh, remembering to share. So I'll ask there. Let's see if someone can help me. And this is something that uh, we usually see, and we usually see people underestimating, let's say, the power of the communities. Not only of all the communities, but this is something that should be much more uh, used. That's it.
Yeah, I think that's brilliant, Gustavo. Just one thing that I forgot mentioning, which I think it's a very powerful um, way of building some solid relationships is to like elevate others. So for example, we do the expert sessions, so we show this on a weekly basis, that you can always create a stage for someone, right? But let's say that you say, I don't have time for an expert session, I don't have time for podcasting. That's fine. But how about, we have so many creators in our community, and I'm talking like world class creators. We have Alexis in Germany, we have Paulo Makaji, one of the best retail podcasts in the world. She's traveling the world. We have Laura Kremer. We have Effe in Germany. We have Marilyn in Germany as well. These the last three names I gave here, and Alexis. We have four. They are world class in Germany. And I mean, if you're looking at the German market, start elevating them. And what it means, just follow their content on LinkedIn and start sharing that on LinkedIn or resharing, and then saying in the community, be genuine, please. But just say, hey, this person made a really interesting post about this and this. What's your take? I just thought this was very inspiring, because you're helping them reach their goals. We are all very selfish, but you're helping them amplify their voice. And by doing so, you can build a relationship, right? So I think there are many ways for anyone here in the club to position themselves. I made a post now about this very session that we were about to run, and Stuart, who's based in Singapore, he just tagged the guy who wrote a book about networking. That was his way to tell this guy and to tell and to connect this guy with us. Maybe we're going to invite this guy who's an expert in networking for an expert session. So, but he's talking about the guy, he's not talking about himself. It's if you guys remember, guys and gals, please, to elevate other people, I think you're going to be in a very very good place. Maybe read some Dale Carnegie. We were talking about Dale Carnegie today, right, Gustavo? But we are showing every day how you can do it. And again, you're always most welcome to reach out to me or Gustavo. But elevating other people, talking about other people, it's a rock solid way of building relationships and really yeah also helping yourself and your company. So let's move on to the last topic.
Great.
Then we'll open to the community for the community.
Yeah, great. Then now let's talk a bit about Evolve most directly, and how can we help people to network, to connect, to accelerate their time to network, how they can accelerate their time. So uh, this is something that's really amazing, and this is uh, in my very own personal opinion, this is one of the most important things that we can help uh, another person in Evolve, which is uh, how can you accelerate your time to network when you go abroad, when you're entering a new market? Because and this is something that Carlos may have heard that also, and this is something that I have heard for sometimes, and which is you don't have a network, so you it's hard for you here, and this is something that we don't want people to hear
Mhm.
in any market. So this is what's Evolve built for, looking for people. When you're talking into this, is uh, we can help you and we will help you to accelerate your time to network and to connect with the correct people and with the people that will um actually help you enter that market, enter that country, or wherever you're looking for. So, Carlos, how can we help people?
Sure. I think we it took us time also, right, Gustavo, to come
Mm,
to understand our
yeah,
product and to understand our all everything that we were doing. So now uh, I'm going to talk about the paid community. This is going to be recorded, of course, but in the paid community, we have access to matchmaking. That's actually the main differential, if you ask me, are the matchmakings in the paid community, because we're taking you by the hand and say, hey, connect with this person. You can always leverage our brand and be part of the in-person events, but that is also available in in the free plan or whatever. But in the paid community, what we really do is like to accelerate your time to network. Now, besides the paid community, what I like to and the matchmaking and everything that we offer there, which is very powerful. Um, what I would say about Evolve and how we can help anyone who's interested, of course, because you need to be invested. That's the first thing. You need to invest time in this. It's I think I've been in Denmark now for 12 years, and one of the hardest things for any international uh, is to move to a new country, because you you don't know a lot of people. Like when I moved, just to share a bit of my personal story, when I moved to Denmark 12 years ago, I uh, I I just knew the relatives of my ex-wife, like her parents, and so my network was very limited, and I had the wrong idea that just because I work for the Danish government, the doors would kind of like be open, and that was very wrong, right? So it was painful, and I draw this parallel of being a foreigner and a company. They're the same. When you're a company, you're just an entity, but it's a person who's driving, who's doing the expansion of a company, and you will need relationships. So you know I get so energized when for example, last week we were in Spain, and we had a small Evolve group within an event, right? We had Mihaela, we had Patricky, we had Paulo, who's here, we had Ronan, who was the owner of the event. Paulo
Danielle,
also was connecting us with other people. Pardon?
Danielle,
Danielle from Vurderi. So the coolest thing, I think, when you're building your tribe, and it's finding a place where it's not just about business, but finding a place where you have a sense that you know people and you're kind of like gonna be embraced. That's evolve. That's what we do, right? So we have Fabio here. I was talking to Fabio yesterday. Like, you're going to Ireland, man. Be the person who helps us build the Irish market. I'm gonna of course help you as well. But doing the events there, and when I talk about events like meetups, they can be real simple, right? We can start connecting people there, and you're going to be the connector. You're going to be the person that is using now a flag called Evolve, that people are now starting to approach us and say, hey, this is really cool. It's an international network. So you always have the excuse to start a conversation and start being the connector. So I think that's a really powerful thing that we do at Evolve, right? Besides the matchmaking, besides everything, I mean, being uh, being in a place where we can really accelerate your time to network, and people have a feeling that they are in a like a safe space there when they arrive there, right? Like Patrick, like Mihaela, they were having a great time, and I just love to see the guys having a great time in freaking Spain. you know I think
Yeah.
this is amazing, man, because when I arrived in Denmark, I didn't have that. I'd have to go to Copenhagen uh, to uh, to build it, and what we have here, what we're building, I think Paulo has seen this from the get-go, Fabio as well, Lais, not even to mention yourself, right? We have seen the pains, Gustavo, of uh, being internationals, right? So I think people who are here and in this call, they get it. Some more, some less, but they get it. What's like being an international, and yeah, I think that's a very solid value prop that we have there.
Yeah, yeah, totally. Yes, well, I totally agree. I have nothing to add on top of that. So, but let me just get back here to, well, how can you leverage your network with Evolve? So, of course, we have the paid community, the paid membership, where we have matchmaking and an exclusive group where you can be more open, it's more closed, and we have monthly meetings where they're not recorded, and where you can be very open, and where we help each other. But besides that, we have these expert sessions where we bring always experts to different content. We have there's people from AI, from e-commerce, from retail, from payment, more technical persons. We had some people at the very beginning. We need to look maybe a bit more on that. We have people talking about how to breathe correctly. So we're bringing content here, but not only content, but this is this is like a connection point, a connection stop during the week, where we can connect you, where you can connect each other, and where you can help the connections to happen. And we have our in-person gatherings. So as we said, we're going to host a dinner in São Paulo in the end of July. But besides that, we have had some happy hours in São Paulo. We have done meetup in London. We have done some gatherings. People have gathered also already in Portugal and Lisbon for some times, and we have gatherings in Spain. We're going to have uh, here in Germany and all over the world. So it's just a matter of getting people together, and you as an Evolve member, you can host that. That's really cool, and that's really useful. And also you have also the calls that you can do with us, with Carlos, and with me, and we can help you in a more deeper way to maybe connect you with some other person where you don't want to be that open with the community, but you can rely on us and talk with us your challenges, your objectives, what you're doing, you're changing, you're moving, and who can we refer to help you? And so, yeah, so I believe that was the basically the content for us. And let's invite. Let me try to invite. Let me get Paulo. Let's invite Paulo to join. And Carlos, do you have something else to say?
Yeah, I can. No, no, no. I think that's perfect, Gustavo. I think you covered it all. Yes, you just invited him. Fabio, you're very welcome. Lais as well, if you're available. We'll be inviting you guys. Yes. Hey, Paulo, welcome. Paulo, are you there?
Hello, hello,
Hello,
Yes.
hello.
hello, hello.
Paulo,
Yeah.
just before you say anything, I just want to say that I was very impressed with your networking skills because I don't have that skill. I'm more like a social digital networker kind of thing, like, and you're an old school guy. I love it. Really, really. That's a skill I need to improve. I was talking to Gustavo about it, like how you're able to network. I admire that. I think it's amazing.
Oh, thanks. Thanks a lot, Carlos, Gustavo. So I saw it was. I think it was very fine to meet you in person at Digital One to One. I love this kind of event because
Mhm.
this kind of event bring us together, and obviously the video meetings are important, are an easy way to get together and exchange ideas
Mhm.
and talk about things. But you said I'm some sort of old school guy, and I think
I
uh,
agree.
nothing replaces a face-to-face meeting and an encounter. So I was very happy to meet you there.
Likewise, Paulo. Paulo, do you have any remarks? I think you, as an excellent person who's been in sales. Any remarks on what we spoke about today? Today, the idea was mostly like we're recording this, of course, and to help our members to to get out of the hole and and really to teach them to hopefully not teach but help them um, start a conversation. We see that networking is a pain.
Mhm.
So how can you be intentional when you have the conversations without being overly salesy, if you like, but also you've been in consultative sales a long time, so you understand that.
Yeah, and for me, Carlos, it's interesting because in the my early career days, I was no more than a techie guy. So I didn't start
Mhm.
as a sales or business guy. I started as a technician. I graduated in manufacturing because my initial career goal was to be a consultant specialized in manufacturing and production processes and nothing to do with sales because I thought at that time, uh, doesn't matter how many years ago, um, uh, I thought that sales was about having some coffees, spending small talks with clients and doing things. And when I realized that it's nothing is far from the truth than these prejudices I had, I start modeling differently my approach to life, not only to my professional performance. And uh, I would first, I totally agree with all the things you mentioned. I thought the nature of the relations didn't change as much as the technology and the channels that are available for us
Mhm.
in the last 10 to 15 years. I think being intentional is key, and intentional it's is very different from being uh, salesly, as you mentioned.
Mhm.
So people, there's a metric in consultative sales that kind of 90 to 95% of the people you reach are not even considering buying something or
Mhm.
buying the stuff or service you are offering, because it's not the time, because they have already a vendor, because of a lot of different things. So most of the time, your job is to bring some priority to that topic in order to allow you to be someone to do business with that individual. If you try to sell to everything, in the end of the day, you will may have a chance to sell to 5% of the people you get to know.
Mhm.
I think it's better. It's a better approach, and I think your insights and Gustavo's was very. They were very happy on this matter. Is you have to be available and intentional, and
Mhm.
not not disinterested, but interested in providing help. This help could be through services that you provide, can be
Mhm.
that via connections, can be via insights. As I mentioned, I met Alan from Lima Consulting last 2 days ago, something.
Mhm.
And we had lunch together and exchanged some ideas because he moved to Portugal a couple months ago. And in some sense, we are competitors in this in my as a as an executive of F Camera, in some
Mhm.
sense, Alan and Lima, they are competitors. But why shouldn't I help him just because
Mhm.
he's not my enemy? He's my
Mhm.
potential, eventually competitors. So I don't know if we are going to do business in some point of time. I don't know if we are going to be one against each other in an RFE. What I know, he is first Brazilian like me. He immigrated
Mhm.
like me. I have a lot of empathy on the challenges and struggles he's living in this movement, and I had a lot of help when I made this movement. I struggle with a lot of things when I made this movement, and I'm happy to help him on at least sharing my thoughts and ideas. And every time I made this unintentionally, in terms of not expecting anything in exchange from him by doing this, I earn some dividends in some point in the future, most of the times. So I was
Mhm.
discussing with a partner yesterday, and it's a recruiting partner. We are with a very high demand here to hire people in Portugal, and we are discussing things. And she said, "Paulo, would you mind send me your CV? I just want to get to know your profile." I said, "Oh, Grazi, I do not have a CV. During my whole career, I didn't needed a CV. I don't know if it's
Mhm.
good or bad, but the fact is, I need to write one if I need one." So, and this happened because all my movements happen due to my relationships and the I don't know, the good reputation, or at least solid reputation in some sense that I built through the years. That said, I think the rise of the communities, just like you and Gustavo are brilliantly doing with Evolve, It's an important engine of speeding up and broadening these connections in terms of reach. And it's far easier for us today to get to know interesting people. I know Maisa, for instance, who's someone that I don't know, probably I wouldn't know her if it wasn't by Evolve. So
Mhm.
I think it's about connection, knowing people, knowing and telling what you do, hearing and considering what the other individual do, when feasible, help him or her to make connections, things
Mhm.
back. So I think this reciprocity happen in real life, and it's important to say that. And using this space of collaboration and contact, it's something that brings real value, I think. And this is my experience, mainly with Evolve. And I would say to end, um, I would say that you guys are making the most structured work in terms of community management and uh, building and extracting the potential of the community, a professional community. And I think you guys are doing a very, very good job here, mm, with the kind of people you have in the community and the engagement strategies and channels you are providing to both paid and not paid members
Mhm.
of the community. So cheers.
Appreciate you, Paulo. Paulo, I think
Thank you.
we're gonna as we spoke last week, you're an advisor, so we're gonna do some work there, support you
Mhm.
there as well, gladly. My, like one of the topics that we touched upon is like the matchmaking, right? And you're very active, so you've attended some of the breakfast brunches. You do this, you understand the game, let's say it, and I think it's amazing. So I think we have to learn a lot from you as well. But one thing that I find it really annoying, and it's like, I'm not bad mouthing, but this is something that I'm amazed by. Like, if you receive a message, like a WhatsApp message or an email, be responsive. Because that's the obvious. Like,
Yeah.
someone's that someone's done the heavy lifting for you. You've been introduced, and we have these cases in the community where people are like, "Oh, I forgot." Well, you forgot. Then do something about it. And I think because I'm a founder, you can see that I'm very energetic when I'm speaking. I have a lot of energy, but I'm like, dude, take some action. You can't just. We are in Sally mode as well. So if I introduce you, if you receive a message, I think in sales you need to be responsive, because otherwise people don't wait and they go for to your competitor. They're gonna find their way. And what's your best advice here for people who I'm not even talking a community, but as a salesperson, as someone in sales, I would love to hear your best advice. How can you improve that as well? Because I don't know, that just bugs me.
This is an interesting question, Carlos. I would say that most of the more relevant views, I'm filtering by the relevant because those I can recall, but maybe that happened every time. But most of the most relevant deals I closed, and the feedback I had was something like, "Hey, we trusted and signed this deal with you because you were responsive, you are
Mhm.
available, and we notice or we felt that we can count on you in good times and in
Mhm.
bad times." And one thing that I'm very vocal in my relationships, especially on my service engagements, is I cannot promise and I will not promise that everything will go wrong, will go right. Things
Mhm.
go wrong. Shit happens, period.
Mhm.
What I can ensure is when shit happen, I'll be there. I'll be
Mhm.
responsive. I will act as soon as I can to address the topic and to bring things to moving back. So I think it's not a matter only of replying or responding quickly, but in some sense a kind of state of spirit of being available.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
when you are
Mhm.
available, you are connectable, you are responsive, you are agile, you are ready to take advantage of the opportunities life, people, and relationships offer to you.
But do you think that's a personality trait, or this is something you've learned throughout the years?
I think you can learn this kind this is a
Mhm.
behavior that you can learn.
Mhm.
I think few
Mhm.
things are can be credited to personality. For instance, shy guy, so I'm not the kind of guy that you will that you will put in a place with a lot of unknowns, and I will be presenting myself naturally to everyone and get to know everyone. I'm not this guy, but I learned how to handle this behavior. So I
Mhm.
think everything, almost everything, can be learned.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Thanks, Paulo. Great. We also have to schedule an expert session. Let's do that. Um,
Absolutely, I'm here.
Fabio, would you like to come on? Let's see if Fabio's available. Maybe Laís. Not sure if she's eating pão de queijo. She raised her hand.
Desculpe, precisamos de evacuar o edifício, não é um teste.
I.
Não é um teste, vamos mesmo sair.
Guys, emergency here. I need to leave the building.
Okay.
See you.
Okay.
Oh,
Bye bye.
take care, man.
Take care. Take care.
Ciao. Hi, Laís. Hello. You raise your hand. Go ahead.
Yes. Hello.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. I'd like to say that I've been living abroad now for 11 months. And one of the things that has helped me a lot um, was being part of communities, especially Evolve, because I've learned a lot about how to networking without be annoying, without disturbing other people, and how we can improve ourselves when we are not just learning from other people, but also when we can help other people to grow. And now I consider that being part of communities as one of the most important things when you live abroad, um, especially for your personal growth, and also because you can learn a lot from yourself when you are helping other people to evolve.
Thank you.
That's it.
Well, what if was there anything a perspective that changed for you? Not about evolve, but you started living abroad because yeah, we had a distant relationship for 5 years, and then maybe I would tell stories, and then you moved to Denmark, and then maybe things then you started seeing life from more like from my perspective. So I'm curious about what changed, in that sense, in your perspective, like moving from Brazil and living in Denmark now first.
Yes, I think here in Brazil sometimes we think that we are self-sufficient, and
Mm-hmm.
we are when we move abroad. Sometimes we can feel a kind of lonely.
Mhm.
Sometimes we are alone, and so
Mhm.
in my case, I start to pay more attention in people, and uh, I start to see relationships as a way to improve myself, to go to um, when you go for an event, for example, if you go alone, you can feel a little bit lost because you don't know exactly um, what to do, or who you can speak. And when you go for an event and you meet someone from community, someone that you have talked before, you can feel more comfortable to talk to other people. And so I think my perspective has changed a lot because now I consider networking as a tool, fundamental tool to grow, to learn, and to live in any part of the world that you can live. So I consider this like a big change in my perspective.
Thank you. I agree.
Great, great.
I
Thank
agree
you.
with you.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah. I can. I would say, while he's talking, it reminds me also a bit with my experience, because I think when you go abroad, let's dig in a bit into this theme. When you go abroad, you can, and you actually live abroad. Uh, we can move the the extremes of, you have people that only says bad things, and you have people that only says good things. That it will be easy. You will find a job. You will find this and you find that. It will be easy. That's not a problem. In our case, I'm in Germany. You're in Denmark. So, oh, language is not a problem. Everybody speaks English. This, you don't need the language, and it's okay, and etc. And also, you have also the other side of people. Oh, you, this is very hard. They don't talk with anyone. They are this and that and other things. So, but when we're living here, we can see that it's not the 80s or the 80s. It's life. So people are different. You have good and bad people. You have good and bad situation in everywhere. So I believe this is also the one great thing, and one great thing in terms of communities, that you can also accelerate your time of learning, that so you can see what people that are there is actually saying, not people that are not there. So, oh, I when I moved here, I had a lot of people saying, oh, it will be easy in Germany, and da da da, and a lot of, and some other people saying, oh, that will be really really hard. And it's not either of the situations. It's not very easy, and it's not very 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 hard. It's hard, but it's not that situation. But when I came here and I went, for an example, to German course, and started knowing that community, you can also learn from the others. Oh, this is really difficult. This is not that difficult as people said, and you can take that. But when you have a community with people that are there in that, let's say, region, in that market, and in that place that you want to go, wherever it is, you can be more, you can level better the expectations, and you can level better your learning, and you can learn better how to surface in that environment. I believe that's um,
Yeah,
so just to,
perfect.
okay.
That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you.
And Fabio, are you
Fabio,
there?
welcome.
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Are you allowed to open your camera now? Maybe. Not sure. Just asking.
Yes, I'm perfectly fine to open my camera or my microphone if you can hear me, of
Mhm.
course.
We can hear you. Yes.
Let me see here how I can set it up. Wait. Here. The camera
Not
is
not.
not accessible. I don't know what it is, but
Maybe it's the phone, some kind of settings, but it's fine. Let's just yeah.
but
Yeah.
just to add to what you said, I think you guys said it
Mhm.
all. This as Lais also mentioned, living abroad, it gives you lots of um, let's say challenges in terms of
Mm.
getting to know the place, getting to know this new reality. And I believe the only way that you can go through is by networking and being in contact with, influential people who can actually bring you some opportunities. So I believe I agree. I just wanted to add on to it just to say that you guys have said it all, Gustavo, Carlos as well. And I'm thrilled to have a plan on setting up maybe um, another another country as Ireland to start with in Dublin. So maybe we have some news that we can actually have some good events and shake up the community, the evolvers, the future evolvers, and the e-commerce community over in Dublin. And I'm very happy to do this together with Carlos, and I think it will be a success, just like you guys are at the moment.
Appreciate you, Fabio. All right, so that was the
Welcome.
session today. Our session today. Hopefully, that was helpful. We also wanted to, yeah, to give you some tips on how you can best leverage the community. There's not really like a what do you call a secret sauce, but it's some time that you have to invest in, into the relationships, and also to let you guys know that we are here for you, right? So but yeah, we also pay attention at who's investing time, who's not. um, we are very present, and we would love to support people to thrive, and to grow, because if you guys grow, you're going to talk about us, then we also grow. And that's how we've been doing. So appreciate you all for your time today. Thank you very much. Gustavo, many thanks. This was very cool. And I'll see you all soon.
Yeah.
See
Thank
you
you
next
all. Bye bye.
See you. Bye.